Hello and welcome to Moving Pictures Kenya. My name is Bonventure and today I'm at a place called Ephrata in Pennsylvania here in the USA. I want to speak to a Kenyan who has ventured into corn farming, and I want him to explain to us the process of farming, how he's harvesting and all the rest. Actually, I want to accompany him in the harvesting process. Kuja tuende tuvune mahindi. Ile kitu nafikiri tutafanya, wewe ukivuna mahindi tutapiga tu story, ukieleza tu vile kuko. It will be better that way.
This mate is 3 months maize. It can't go more than 3 months. 3 months because spring starts. You have to plant it before end of May to get the harvest. If you go after that, you won't get a good harvest. Yeah, we wait until we have no more frost, then we plant. Some people have tried planting that corn from Kenya here, and they say it just grows and it doesn't produce. Because if you grow corn like in Kitale, it needs at least 6 months. So if you get the same seed here, it won't work. You know, this is a seed like the one, what they call Katumani. The seed that only takes 3 months. And you see, generally most farmers grow to make silage or hay or to make feeds. But us here, we are growing for the people. So we have to time it right. If I don't time it right, I lose everything.
How many acres of land do you farm?
This year we had 3 acres, so I plant in phases so that everybody gets. Hey John, let me call you back. Yeah, I got that marrow. I'll call you back. Yep. So I have 3 acres, so I have 3 acres, and maybe like 1/8 of an acre I plant yellow maize, and the rest of everything is white. So we grow first phase, which is so that we have corn throughout the season, because the corn dries very quick here, and most people don't want it very hard. So now I'm harvesting from phase 2. You know, phase 1, most of it has been harvested. There is only a couple corns, but they are all spread out. But the hard part about this job is harvesting. Okay. Yeah, if somebody needs 1,000 years, we don't have special machine. As you can see, I'm harvesting manually. I don't have a machine to harvest. But planting and stuff, we use machines. Actually, planting doesn't take a lot. I can hire somebody to plant for me. I just use the farmer's machines to plant. He has what they call 4-row. It plants 4 rows at the same time. So this doesn't take him long to plant. Yeah, because he plants thousands and thousands of acres. So,
but you talk of the farmer's machine, and yet you are the farmer. So who is this farmer that is using?
So I'm leasing the land here. So the farmer here has a lot of acreage. I'm only using 2 of his acres right now. Okay. He has like 30-40 acres. Okay. Yeah, so if you have 2 acres, you can't have a machine for 2 acres. I have some special machines for small stuff like this. If I have to, I can use for planting, but it won't be as fast as using his machines. So in America, the bigger the farmer, the bigger the machines he has. You know, so there is very few small machines left anymore. It's very hard to find small machines. Because all the farmers have large acreage. Yeah. It's very hard to find even for milking cows. You can't find small ones anymore.
And do you own this land?
I actually don't. I'm leasing. I'm leasing the land. I have an agreement with the farmer. He before this, when the season is over, before the next season, we sit down and we agree on how much land I'm going to get from him. He also leases land himself from another person who is not a farmer in the area. So that person also I can lease from. I have 2 farmers I lease land from, 2 different farmers. Actually, I would say 3 because the other person is not a farmer. He just owns the land and he leases to the farmers around here. So in other words, there is no land here that can stay empty so long as there is farmer around. Farmers would always lease out. So I've been moving from one farmer to another. It's very hard to own land here. You know, it's very, very expensive. Yeah. It's almost, land here is passed on from family to family almost. It's almost a generational family owned. Yeah, like this farm will never be sold. It will move from the one generation to another generation. Yeah.
So is there anything special you require for you to be a farmer here in the US?
No, if you have a passion and you enjoy, for me this is almost like therapy. You enjoy being in the field like this. You enjoy working on the farm. You enjoy crops. You just have to figure what you want to do and figure who will be interested in what you're doing and move and look for a place and move on. I know somebody looking for land now to get some animals like goats and sheep and stuff, and they're having a hard time to find a land. But the easier place to get land is going to the Midwest, Ohio, Kentucky, because even farmers from here, they are moving there now, most of them. They are buying land over there. It's cheaper than here. Because Lancaster County is considered to have very good soils. That's why it's hard to get land here. Because you're competing with the real farmers, Amish and the Mennonites, who are big farmers. So that's why land is very expensive here, you know. And the years I've lived here, I've noticed more people going more into vegetable farming, crop farming, and moving away from animal farming. Because crop farming is becoming more popular now because of food. There's a lot of people food in New York City. Big cities are close to here. The customers are African immigrants, a few of Asian immigrants, and so. And again, I wouldn't say I'm the only one who does this. There are other people who are doing the same thing. There's somebody a couple miles from here who is doing the same thing, but he's an American. He's American. All right.
Yeah, but do you have challenges? Because one thing with the is it must be a lot of risk for you to say I'm planting corn and then.
Yeah, there is some risks involved because I found myself in this. So I would almost say that most of the challenges for me is because I kind of do 2 jobs. I farm and I do another job. I don't totally do this. I do mostly this in the summertime. In the winter, I don't do this. So those are the challenges. So I have to adjust my schedule to suit this job.
And then for many African countries, people complain so much about fertilizer. I don't know here what you do with the fertilizer.
I actually don't use as much. If you see in the ground, the farmer here, the owner of this farm, he milks cows, so he has a lot of manure. If you look down there, you might see some manure on the ground. You might be stepping on. You can see some of the manure there. Here you see some of it. Some of the manure is here. Where are you? Here. This comes from his cows. Okay, so I have that advantage because the farmer here has manure. So when he's done, he's going to, in the winter time, he's going to put manure all over here, you know. So he doesn't charge me for his manure. He only charges me for the land and, you know. And usually I don't pick as much. I have a lot of people helping me pick too. I have the boys here, the farmers have their kids who come and help pick. Yeah.
So, Mr. Ngarama, tell us whether this is an organic farm.
Organic farming is very tricky. It's very tricky. It was famous at one point, but it's tricky for you to consider yourself organic. There is rules and regulation. You have to keep your land for so many years without fertilizer for it to be considered organic. You know, it's becoming a very very common thing, but it doesn't just, you cannot wake up tomorrow and say, I'm making my land organic. You know, it has to go through some testing and all that before you can call yourself organic. Don't call yourself organic till you are approved organic. So I'm not approving myself organic here. You know, that's another, it takes 6 years almost to grow without fertilizer. You know, land has to stay empty. Okay.
Then when you talk of pricing, you normally talk of something years. I don't know what you mean by years.
Years means this is 1 year of corn. So that's just an American language. Okay, this is an ear of a corn. Okay, it's an American language. Some people call it 1 cob. If you're in Kenya or you're African, a cob. In America is an ear. Okay. So since I'm in America, I try to use American terminology. I know it confuses people a lot. They think it's the ear here, but it basically means that's 1 ear. It's just like we call maize and they call corn. And then America, their language is meant to make you understand, to make you know what you're doing. They don't care whether they're accurate or not.
Then you are talking of the challenges. So when you start planting, are you sure you are going to sell your corn, all of it?
You are not sure. A lot of time you are not. But if you remember when I had the other show, my aim was not going to sell. When I started this, my aim was to make corn flour or unga and I didn't get there. People never allowed me to get there. They come and buy everything. So I don't have room, but I'm still working on it. I'm still working on whatever is left. We let it dry and make cornmeal. Yeah, cornmeal is very expensive here, you know, compared to Kenya or other places. Cornmeal is very expensive. A lot of people are feeling the price. And I eat cornmeal in my house and I felt the pain and I realized, well, why don't I make it here? I live in the countryside. I live in a place where people farm. So that was my motivation of starting this. But people started buying it and eating it, and there was a shortcut. So now it's become something that is part of me. But I'm hoping when I start doing cornmeal, I might have to either increase the acreage or collaborate with other farmers and have them grow some. And then I buy from them.
So that means you'll have to start running a portion.
Yes, but very small. I'm going to start very, very small. Very small, something that is not manned by many people. I'm going to do very, very small. And then I will not have to sell it myself. I'll just supply. You know, but I would like to do a process, come up with a cornmeal that I feel most of the customer I'm aiming at, they would like or they would enjoy. Because a lot of people seem to want to eat healthy and they feel the cornmeal is so much processed. So I'd like to get them something more as natural as it can be. Yeah, and cornmeal is not popular in this country. Most people who grind have gone into grinding feeds because feeds has no more money. So there's a lot of people grinding here. There's a lot of feed mills for animals. So those people are making more money here than actually producing for human consumption. And then for human consumption too, there is a lot of regulations. So that also keeps people away from wanting to venture into it. So most mills that used to run here many years ago have been closed down because most of the white people don't eat cornmeal. Only in this part of the world.
And by the way, Ngarama, who are your regular customers?
If I make cornmeal, most of the people I'm eyeing are mostly new immigrants. Those are people I'm eyeing as my future customers.
So in case you don't sell all the maize, what happens to what remains?
I'll just let it dry, and then the farmer here has cows, and he has his yellow corn for animals. He can just mix it up. I can just either give it to him. You know, that's another reason. There is no waste in this place. And some of the stalks, we just cut them down and they become manure again sometimes. Yep, everything is processed. There is always the leftovers because there's some corn that are small, nobody harvests. So, yep. In fact, there are farmers around here that grow corn, but they don't eat it. They wait when the corn is small, they chop everything into silage.
And then now what happens to these stalks once you...
Yeah, it will be chopped off. Some of it will become manure. Sometimes if the farmer feels he has the energy, he can make silage for their cows. And you see, the thing is, in this country, they believe when you have stock without the ear, it's not nutritious enough for the animals. Okay. When they make silage, it has to have the ear on it. Okay. So when they chop some of the food here together with this, that's what they believe. The stock like this, they think is not enough. Yeah, there is a couple companies here that make animal feeds. They kind of advise the farmers on what the feed should have for them to get what they need.
Then the other issue is culture, because I know from the way you are harvesting, if it was back home in Kenya, people would say this man is spoiling the farm because there is a particular way of harvesting. They don't want you to do the way you are doing it.
To throw them out down.
Not really to throw them down, but they don't want you to do like this. You know? they want you to cut the whole stem.
Oh, okay, but for me here, I'm doing business, and since I'm doing business, my customer wants the stock, the ear. I don't care about this. So once my customer gets this, I'm not going to hold my customer waiting because I'm chopping this. You know, there are some people here, actually, a community here that they wait and they chop and they put them in heaps and they dry them like that. But for me, my most important thing is what you call the ear. The other stuff is not very important for me. Yeah. So I focus on the ear. And farming again, what I've come to learn is You can be as cultural as you want to be, but you have to do things that work for you. You know, you have to make things work for you. You know, if you want to meet cultural expectation, that's up to you. But if you want things to work, make them work for yourself. Yeah, when a customer comes here, he has a very short time. He wants to come and go to work. So I can't hold him, telling him I'm meeting some cultural expectation. Okay. See, we have paths in the corn. This is what we formed here. So that's why it's easy now to go. We can go this way now. I do have a tractor there too that I can use, but since it's only one person, the wheelbarrow is enough. The tractor is parked in the cornfield back in there. Okay, that's half.
Sasa hii tumwage tukihesabu weke guhuri.
Utatoa?
Hata zani nitatoa. Tuko na time leo. Tatareke guhuri akaile, tatareke guhuri. Ndio naongea na mtu wako Kenya anashangaa kuna mahindi Kenya. Kuna mahindi.
Ni mnanifurahisha sana. Yeah, I think I did the count. Let me find out.
Okay. Like how many are they?
No, siku count mimi.
Au count. Wacha basi nikuje na kitu ya count. Wasichana wataenda kutoa. Ama tutoe as you
mnaweza toa tu. Kuna wheelbarrow moja nimeka huko. Okay. Ni mwage hapa. Fanya hivi. Wacha niwache hii mimi nikachukua hii wheelbarrow nyingine. Yeah, kwa sababu I need to get another 80. Nataka kujua ni ngapi hapa. Nafikiri hapa ni kama 200.
Okay. Sawa, kama nilivyo ni sawa.
Bernardo, hata nikupigie, niko busy kidogo tu. Okay. Haya.
Wacha nilete gunia.
Okay.
Kitoa.
Yeah, wewe endelea tu. Weka tu hizi maganda kwa wheelbarrow.
Nitaweka chini alafu nitarudi niokote.
Sawa. Mimi nataka na kuchukua hiyo wheelbarrow nyingine. Kuna mtu ananingojea anataka nini?
Enda umchukulie huyo.
Sijui kama tuko na ngapi hapa lakini
nitakuhesabia. Leo hizi no heanire hena mundu wetere no ndigitekera ndiko ciana ciothe tu no nginya ngue ciganona. Nigetha ndui mundu no aremwo ni guka. No guku thiaga na kiria guku tuta Kenya ati ni ugu suspect undu guku andu ni guteithania mateithanagia no igo cio ri umite Maryland na ni mugeni. Imwe bebe ni citukanaga ciko maya yero riu ni ya hoiti. Neno ni iko nyingi nani? Ino ni yero. Riu hena no ukore ona ino no ukore na kama twa yero kama uguo.
Bado iko mingi.
Bado ni mingi?
Mahindi iko yake. Nimeona a big one. Sio bila nakufunia mzuri leo. Nimeziona hapo katikati. Unajua sometimes haujui mahali mahindi iko. Because watu wanavuna kila mahali. Nimeingia hii kona huyu akinioji na shangaa mahindi iko hapa nyingi hivi.
Lancaster itabidi na situfanye hivi. Sisi tunaweza kupelekea hiyo mahindi. Wewe fanya hivi. Ingia kwa shamba ubunange ite. Sisi tukitoka hapa tukubebe. Unaona? Ona tondu niguo Boni Royal moving pictures ri. Alikia kwa edit kama
utakuja lini?
Wa subscribe okay. Iwe bebe skill.
Yeah. Wote sawa, wewe nipigie simu ukiwa tayari.
Sisi tungekusaidia vile vyote ungetaka.
Wametoka Maryland hata wamekuja tu juu kutoka Kenya.
Kama wametoka like okay.
940. Unajua siku tutaka kutuna hii jana. Sipendi mahindi kilala. Yeah, that's why mtu akitaka mahindi napenda namchunia fresh hivi. Anaenda.
Hai, sisi hatutakuwa hapa.
Mtakuwa umeenda. Ngapi wengine ndakuletea?
Ni sawa.
Huyu mzee najua mahali anaishi.
Oh.
Nimekunywa chai kesho.
Basi haina shida. Nilikuwa supposed kubeba ngapi? I'm not even sure how many I was supposed to carry.
Ndakutumia I think when nipigia ndakwambia nilikuwa nimecalculate.
Okay.
Ni 95, chukua 95. Divide by 20 times 40.
Okay. 95 divided by 20 times 40. Okay.
Ya Joel, mimi nikichukua nitakwambia ni ngapi nimechukua. Kwa sababu ni ya githeri nilitaka.
Niko na hiyo mayai ya huyo rafiki yako.
Uko na mayai mingi, ni mingi mayai hata mimi naweza taka.
Dalete nataka ngapi? $8 ile flat.
Na ni ya kienyeji?
Huyo mkulima hapa anauza.
I mean hiyo mayai ni kienyeji?
Ni ya kienyeji.
Ni ya kienyeji? Naweza taka tray mbili. Ati how much?
$8. Amesema $8.
By the way, mahindi ni kubwa na tena ni nyingi sana, ni nyeupe. Ile ilikuwa nyingi ni nyekundu.
Yellow.
Mahali hiyo line ilikuwa. Ni mbegu ilikuwa yellow.
Because huwa wanaweka tofauti, wanaweka yellow kando, white kando.
Ile ilikuwa mix kidogo.
But unajua kuna wale wanapenda ile yellow, wanasema hiyo ni tamu kuliko hii nyingine, iko very sweet.
Mimi nataka hii nyeupe. Ile mingi ni nyeupe, lakini kuna zingine zilikuwa yellow. Kwa ile nataka kuboil. Sasa mimi napenda mtungo. Kama kuanzia Thursday sijakula kitu kingine.
Mtungo ni ile ya kuchoma ama ni?
Kuchemsha. Unajua sasa sisi huko kwetu moto yetu ni ile ya nini?
Ile ya gas.
Moto yetu ni ile ya moto ya stima. Hawezi ukachoma.
Ni hata ndio nilikuwa nafikiria leo. Niende nijaribu nione kama naweza kuchoma kwa nini? Kwa micro niitwaje, kwa hiyo kwa oven. Sijui wanachoma aje. Kuna watu wanachoma na oven.
Sijajaribu.
Kalikuwa kiniambia tu kuna mtu ako kule nini? Kuna mtu ako pale Delaware. Anajua kuchoma sana na hiyo oven.
Allah. Alafu unajua sasa huku oven za huku ni tofauti. Unaweza pata kuna oven zile, sasa sisi tuko na ile tu yetu ya kupika keki. Labda kuna oven fulani. Hata hii grill unaweza grill. Unaweza kuchoma na grill. Alafu unajua napenda hii. Hata juzi nilipata nyingine iko na nini? Dudu. Ninapenda sana ile iko na dudu. Pata hii mahindi iko na dudu. Jua ina dawa. Ina dawa. Ukipata ile yenye ni fresh haijaanza kuoza. Hiyo dawa imetumika kwa wingi. Hata nyanya nikienda kwa soko. Atakanga ile at least inaonekana iko na impurity kidogo. Sababu hiyo dudu, unajua hiyo dudu it's not an intelligent insect. Insect haina intelligence. To a point yenye inaweza jua intelligence yake iko kwa survival. So for so long as it is eating that and surviving, then you know it has not been poisoned. Sababu wanapiganga dawa ndio uwe hiyo dudu. Unaona? Hata kama hiyo dudu unaona bado iko on, unajua hiyo kitu haina dawa mingi. Hata kama imepigwa dawa sio nyingi. Tutakawana. Kama atakuja.
And on that harvesting note, we end our story today. My name is Bonventure. Thank you for watching this story, and be sure to like and subscribe, because I'll bring you all the stories from rural America.